All right, let's talk about your phone. Today, we're doing a deep dive into a project that is completely changing the game when it comes to having a private, secure smartphone. We are talking about GrapheneOS, a mobile operating system that was literally built from the ground up to put your privacy first. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at what makes GrapheneOS a more secure version of Android. Then, we'll break down the actual tech it uses to keep you safe. We'll also tackle that huge question: can you really live without Google? After that, we'll explore its impact, which goes way beyond its own users. And finally, we'll walk through how you can get started. Ready? Let's get into it. Okay, first things first. What even is GrapheneOS? Well, you can think of it as a fundamentally different take on the Android you probably use every day. But before we get into the weeds, you gotta ask yourself a serious question. Is your phone, the device that holds your entire life, truly private? How much control do you actually have over your own data? Answering that question is the entire reason GrapheneOS exists. So here's the official definition. It's a private and secure mobile OS. And yeah, it's compatible with your Android apps. But the most important part here, it's a non-profit open source project. And that's huge. It means their goal isn't to make money off you. It's to build the best privacy and security tech possible and give it to everyone. That all sounds great in theory, right? But how does GrapheneOS actually deliver on that promise of better security? Let's pull back the curtain and look at the tech that makes it all work. This really gets to the heart of it. GrapheneOS isn't just about patching holes. It makes massive improvements to sandboxing. Think of that as putting every single app in its own reinforced steel box so they can't spy on each other or the rest of your phone. It also uses advanced exploit mitigations, which is a really technical way of saying it's designed to shut down entire categories of attacks before they can even get started. It's about making your phone a really hostile place for malware. And this comparison just says it all, doesn't it? Standard security is almost always reactive. A vulnerability is found and a patch is released. It's a constant game of catch-up. GrapheneOS is proactive. It's not just patching holes in the wall, it's rebuilding the wall with stronger materials from the ground up, making those holes way, way harder to create in the first place. And this is where you, the user, really feel the power. GrapheneOS gives you these super granular controls that you just won't find anywhere else. You can completely cut off an app's access to the internet with a single tap. Worried an app might be listening through your mic? Just turn off its sensor access. You can even shut down the USB port when your phone is locked. It puts the control right back into your hands. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. A super secure phone is pretty useless if you can't run the apps you need every day. So how on earth does GrapheneOS deal with Google's absolute dominance in the app world? I mean, this is it. This is the #1 question people ask, and for a good reason. We all have those essential banking apps, messaging services, and tools for work that we just can't live without. What happens to them on GrapheneOS? And the project is crystal clear on this point. GrapheneOS will never, ever ship with Google Play services built into the system. Tearing out that deep system-level integration is absolutely foundational to its privacy-first design. But that doesn't mean you're stuck. And check this out, because this is the really clever part. You can choose to install Google Play services, but, and this is the kicker, it runs inside that same hardened, secure sandbox, just like any other app. It gets zero special privileges, no deep system access, nothing. It basically lets you access the Play Store and your apps without ever having to compromise the security and privacy of the actual operating system. You get the best of both worlds. It's pretty genius. Now, you might think a project like this only benefits its small user base. But the really amazing thing is that the work GrapheneOS does has created a ripple effect that improves security for basically every Android user on the planet. This quote from the project says it all. They actively contribute their security and privacy features back to the main Android open source project, AOSP. You know that network permission toggle we talked about? The one that lets you kill an app's internet access? That was a GrapheneOS feature first, and it eventually got adopted into mainstream Android. So an innovation built for privacy enthusiasts ended up protecting billions of people. And make no mistake, this isn't some new project that just popped up. They have a long, established history. It started way back in 2014 as Copperhead OS. For years, they've been consistently contributing their work back to the broader community, proving they're in this for the long haul. And they don't just hand you a secure OS and say good luck. They're building a whole ecosystem. You get things like Vanadium, which is a toughened up version of the Chrome browser, a secure PDF viewer, and even Seed Vault for encrypted backups that don't depend on some big tech company's cloud. They're giving you the whole toolkit. So, if you've heard all this and you're thinking, okay, I'm intrigued, I might want to try this, then you're probably wondering what it actually takes. Let's quickly walk through what you need to do to get GrapheneOS on a device. Honestly, the process is pretty straightforward, but you have to do it right. First, and this is key, head to the official website and check if your device is supported. They focus on a small number of phones to ensure they can lock them down completely. If your phone's on the list, you download the official release, and I can't stress this enough, you follow the official installation guide to the letter. And that really brings us to the big, final question. As our lives get more and more tangled up in the digital world, having real control over our own data is becoming absolutely critical. Projects like GrapheneOS aren't just for tech geeks. They're a powerful statement about what a mobile experience that actually respects the user could look like. It really makes you think, is this where all of our devices should be headed? Thanks for tuning in.